House tonight at 7:30 on ATV.
I said, well, you know, just enjoy it while it lasts, because I don't know how long I'm going to go on saying I'm 63.
If you're only as old as you feel, this woman on wheels is about 19. We'll catch up to her tonight, live at 5.
Now, from the ATV News Center at every city and town in the Maritimes, this is the ATV Evening News, live at 5.
Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday, July 19th. I'm Nancy Regan.
And I'm Paul Meunier. Here's a look at some of the stories ATV reporters around the Maritimes are working on for tonight's show.
I'm Randy McDonald in Sydney River. Another new well is being drilled as the summer drought of 94 drags on. The region is thirsting for rain. We'll show you why coming up on Live at 5.
Also ahead tonight, meet an internationally renowned expert on butterflies. He's visiting the Maritimes with an outstanding exhibit of more than 20,000 species.
Short turning radius, but it's...
And a maritimer's invention for water enthusiasts. It's faster than a canoe or kayak. What's the secret? We'll tell you tonight.
All this and much more ahead on the Tuesday edition of Live at 5. Right now, we're going to check in with Bill Mackay, working on the ATV Evening News at 6. Bill.
Thank you, Nancy. Maritimers often complain government just doesn't listen. Well, here's an instance where public outcry was enough to kill a PCB burner idea in the Maritimes. Ottawa says there are other possibilities for destroying the cancer-causing chemicals. More tonight at 6. It's back to the drawing board for Halifax's Metro Authority as far as garbage is concerned. Now that the province has turned down a plan to build an incinerator, the question about what to do about trash looms larger than ever. More on this story tonight at 6. Natives in Nova Scotia looking for a piece of the gambling pie. They are asking the province for their own agreement to run video gambling machines on reserves. They also want a share of the planned government-run casinos in the province. Good idea or bad? The story at 6. Time now for our first look at the weather with meteorologist Steve Wheel. Steve?
Thanks, Bill. This would be a good evening to sit inside where it's nice and dry and watch some shows on ATV. The wet weather will continue this evening, but clearing skies before dawn. I'll give you all the details later in the show. Bill.
All right, thank you, Steve. U.S. Vice President Al Gore meeting with Prime Minister Chrétien in Ottawa. They are talking about a number of issues, including Haiti. Our southern neighbor seems poised to invade the Caribbean island. Chrétien has ideas of his own. More at 6. And now back to Nancy and Paul.
Thank you, Bill.
And first at 5 tonight, threat of fire. We've had fantastic summer weather in the Maritimes this year, but if you're planning to head out and enjoy the great outdoors, that warm, sunny weather has created a hazard you should be aware of.
In Nova Scotia, wooded areas are tinder dry. That means anyone camping or even traveling through the woods should use extreme caution. ATV's Jonathan Kay joins us now. And Jonathan, we've had a bit of rain over the past 12 hours. Has that helped the situation at all?
It has, Nancy. Yesterday at this time, the forest fire index for most of Nova Scotia was high with a few extreme areas. Today, we're back to mostly moderate with a few high areas. But woods here are still considerably drier than they are in other areas in New Brunswick, for example. You might think a dry summer is the perfect kind of a summer for camping. But while you're watching your dinner cook, chances are someone else is watching you. Someone such as Kelly McKinnon, who spends her summer afternoons up here, keeping watch for the first signs of a forest fire.
Especially the open areas / cutover areas, which we have a lot of. And some of these cutover areas are next to roads where people travel. So if they throw a cigarette butt out, these are areas where they dry out very quickly with sun and wind. 2 or 3 weeks of sun and wind spells trouble.
Trouble is exactly what happened 3 years ago during another dry July. This fire in Argyll near Yarmouth destroyed 15 square kilometers of forest. And while it was the worst, there were many other fires to combat as well. Forest firefighters say even small precautions can make a big difference when conditions in the woods are so dry. Douse campfires well. Be careful while smoking in the woods, and carefully collect objects, such as pop bottles, that can magnify the sun's rays and start a fire. Even an overheated car exhaust can cause problems if the car is parked in brush or on dry grass.
We always hope for a general rain each week, but we haven't been getting that. This is why the situation is like it is. We have to have a general rain each week in order to keep that fire hazard into the low and moderate rather than the high and extreme.
So Nancy, while this precipitation has helped us out a little bit, officials don't want anyone to let their guard down, because in just a few days, the sunshine and the heat will nullify the effects of that precipitation, and Paul, the fire index will be right up where it was in the high and extreme areas.
All right, thank you, Jonathan. And we're going to switch now to our Fredericton Bureau, and joining us from there is Gordon Akerley of the Forest Fire Management Branch of New Brunswick's Department of Natural Resources and Energy. A busy time of the year, I know, for you, Gordon. First of all, let's determine how we figure out the scale from low to high. How does that whole system work?
Well, we have a system, Canadian Fire Weather Index system, and it's rated by the dry temperature, the relative humidity, the wind speed, wind direction, and the rainfall. Put this all together, and we have a book we go through, and this will give us our index of the fire weather index, the build-up index, and the fine fuel moisture content also for the whole thing.
So, Gordon, you've got people all over the province gathering that kind of information for you on what, a daily basis? Or?
Yes, on a daily basis. We have about 52 weather stations throughout the province, and 19 of these are automatic weather stations. So we pick this up on a daily basis in the morning and also at noon hour. And between all this, we do get the readings we need to determine the fire weather index.
This is, of course, of particular importance to New Brunswick, or what, I think 65% of the province is covered by forest. Currently around the region, kind of bring us up to date, Jonathan Kay told us that the rain in Nova Scotia has kind of brought things back down to the moderate to high. What's the story in New Brunswick right now?
Well, ours is in the low and moderate right now. We did have a fair amount of rain in spots. Other areas, especially in the eastern part of the province, has no rain whatsoever to date. We're hoping that we will get some in that area before tomorrow morning.
I understand. I guess it was pouring in Fredericton this morning. But what does like a 1 day of heavy rainfall do? Does that make a big difference in taking, you know, for instance, the rating from high to low, and how long does that last?
Well, the problem is it only drops it down for a day or two, and with the temperatures the way they have been, up 28, 29, and the wind a little high, about 2 days, and you're pretty well right back up where you were. You need steady rainfall.
So I guess the bottom line here is that even with a bit of rain like we've had today, people have to be as vigilant as ever and practice, you know, safe, you know, practices out in the woods.
Yes, that's right. We have to preserve the woods and practice caution at all times.
All right, thanks very much, Gordon Akerley from the Forest Fire Management Branch of New Brunswick's Department of Natural Resources and Energy, joining us, and the vigil continues for those fellas. Answer.
Well, Paul, the dry spell has been taking its toll on other things we usually take for granted, like the water we drink and the gardens we hoe. More on the downside of the drought-like conditions from ATV's Randy McDonald, who joins us from Sydney. Randy.
Nancy, the summer of '94 is turning out to be a vacationer's dream. Lots of sunshine, warm temperatures, and very little rain. But if you are not on holidays, it can be a more troublesome scene.
They had an old 4-inch well. It was only around 80 or 85 feet, and the dry weather took its toll. It's dry. We're down about 100 feet now, and we're getting some water. Probably another 20 feet or so, and we'll be okay. We need a lot of rain to bring the water table back up. An overnight rain doesn't do you much good. We need 2 or 3 days of good soaking rain.
It's pretty awful not having water.
But it's going to be better now.
Yeah.
Are you glad?
Yeah.
It is not just at the kitchen tap where there is a real thirst for water this summer.
It has really been a dry season. Yeah, too dry really, because the grass, you can see the grass is turning yellow for the want of water.
But your plants are doing well.
Doing fine.
They're getting tender loving care, I suspect.
That's true.
Look at watering in the evening for one reason, to save on wasting your water from evaporation from the sun. If it rains really hard and fast, it just runs off. Nothing soaks into the ground. So we need about 4 or 5 days of 20 mils each day, something like that.
We need rain now in the worst way. Everything is burnt right up. But it's good for making hay. It's a drier season than it was last year. A lot drier.
A quick footnote to that story, that was no ordinary well driller we interviewed. That was Gilbert Lewis, who this past weekend was declared Well Driller of the Year in Nova Scotia. On another topic for vegetable growing, it has surprisingly been a very good season, especially if you're a vegetable grower with some form of irrigation. One farmer told me this afternoon it's one of the best seasons in years, and it's going to continue that way, but he's a bit worried that if we don't get some rain soon, the situation could change. Nancy?
Randy, we all may hate to do it, but mowing the lawn is a must. What do the experts say about mowing your lawn when it's been dry for a long spell?
Well, if it's been dry for a long spell and you haven't watered it, you probably don't have to worry about mowing because it's so burnt that it's not growing very much. But if you've tended your lawn well and it is growing, the experts say let it grow, that the longer the blades, the more shade it gives to roots, and also the more precipitation, the dew that it can capture to feed the lawn itself. So, and don't cut it short, especially at this time of year when it's so dry. Let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. Nancy?
Well, listen, you sound like you're really good at this. You want to mow my lawn, Randy?
I have one lawn, Nancy, and that's one lawn too many.
Thanks a lot, Randy.
Okay.
What about you, Paul? Will you mow my lawn?
I say let it grow, let it grow, let it grow. But right now we gotta go, because we're gonna take a quick break. But Steve Weigel standing by with the updated maritime weather forecast. And hey, you wouldn't want to be a weather forecaster on the planet Jupiter these days, the latest from the solar system's largest planet, where it's getting a little bit wild. And when we return, it's an insect that has captivated the imaginations of young and old alike. But what do you know about butterflies? We've found someone who knows lots.
1959, when my parents returned from a medical convention, that they brought home a little insect net and a little insect catching jar, and ever since that time, for over 35 years, I've been intrigued by the beauty and the fragility of butterflies.
The Butterfly Man, when Live at 5 returns.
Perhaps is for pictures of the great times you'll spend in your new home. From Kelly's Kent Homes in Fredericton. Smile, Zach.
Interactive computer systems.
Since 1977, ICS now serves you even better with a toll-free 1-800 number.
Experience the world of ICS.
It's going to be straight all the way back, and then when we lay the plywood, we're not going to end up with excess on either side because it'll be square.
Welcome back to Live at 5 in St. John. There are indications that it's almost time for Festival by the Sea once again. The technical crew for the event is busy working on the main stage in Loyalist Plaza, and this year's festival begins just a couple weeks, August 5th.
Yeah, and it's always a terrific show.
Oh, it sure is.
Well, no other creature has captivated the spirit and imagination of mankind like the butterfly. So says the Butterfly Man, who is touring Canada with his outstanding exhibit of more than 20,000 different species of those beautiful creatures.
Live at 5's Bill Jessam shows us more.
His name is John Powers of Cambridge, Ontario. Once a school teacher, once a policeman, but always the Butterfly Man. John has spent 30 years studying, breeding, and collecting butterflies. It all began with his parents.
Well, it was 1959 when my parents returned from a medical convention that they brought home a little insect net and a little insect catching jar, and ever since that time, for over 35 years, I've been intrigued by the beauty and the fragility of butterflies.
According to John, people the world over are fascinated with the butterfly. It has been written about and sung about, and John has corresponded with actors, writers, singers, politicians, and religious leaders who have had butterflies in their lives.
So I've managed to capture the autographs and signatures of 195 world-famous people who have been associated to the word butterfly.
There are approximately 175 species of butterflies and moths, and no two are the same.
Moths have antennae on their head, which are feathery. Butterflies have antennae which are long and thin with knobs on the end. Most moths have fat, furry bodies, while butterflies have thin, slender bodies, and most moths fly at night.
Some of the more enthusiastic visitors of John's display are children.
And so I want you to look on here and see if you can find some of the butterflies that are hiding. They're called dead leaf butterflies. It looks like they're sleeping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, you're going too fast. You got to slow down.
pretty neat. I collect them, and oh yeah, I have a whole bunch of them. Oh man.
Several movies use the butterfly as its theme, some very dark, like The Silence of the Lambs.
We have a moth that has a symbol of a skeleton's head or a death head on the back of the moth. And of course, in science, that is used to ward off predators. We understand that bird sight magnifies things, so that skeleton head on the back of the moth would certainly frighten things away.
Still a mystery to the butterfly man and to scientists such as entomologists is how the caterpillar can turn into a butterfly, and why a butterfly lifespan is just 14 days. John Power's Flying Jewel display will continue at the Halifax Shopping Centre until Saturday. Bill Jessam, ATV News.
Just 14 days.
Yeah.
Pity, you know, it's so beautiful.
Yeah, and kids love them and adults love them alike, and to see really spectacular ones in the Maritimes, you do have to venture out of the city and into the country where you get some big monsters. Ooh, I've seen some ugly ones. Lots more to come on Live at 5, including Steve Weagle's Maritime Weather.
And next, we're going to meet a woman who's bicycled from Toronto to the Maritimes to prove that age is all in the mind.
The difficulty, I just would tell myself a step at a time, and that got me through a lot of stuff.
It's a journey of personal discovery when Live at 5 returns.
We're making Take It to Heart. A message from Health and Community Services, New Brunswick.
Welcome to New Brunswick's only Lazy Boy Gallery, where style, quality, and comfort come together. Add a touch of...
Isn't that cute? The birth of a baby giraffe has Houston zookeepers standing tall these days. 15-year-old Suzette gave birth Monday morning to what experts believe is a baby boy giraffe, but there's nothing tiny about the tot. The junior giraffe is believed to weigh 125 pounds, and he or she stands 6 to 7 feet tall.
That's a big baby.
Hey.
No question. Well, you know, it may be a cliche, but you really are only as old as you feel. That is the motto of a woman who just happens to be visiting the Maritimes right now.
That's right, Paul. I'm about to introduce you to Suzanne Terryberry Elder. And as she puts it, Elder is her name, not her category. She's not your average tourist. She's a 63-year-old grandmother who rode her bicycle from her home in Toronto to the Maritimes. And why? Well, just to prove she could.
I'm using all my wonderful 21 gears here.
You have 21 gears?
21 gears.
You're
One of
outdoing
them
me.
is a granny gear.
What
Just for
what
grannies.
exactly is a granny gear?
Well, I think it's when it doesn't get any easier, you know you're in the granny gear.
I think
The
I have
hill
one of
doesn't
those,
get
too.
any less steep, but the going is supposed to be easier.
Suzanne, tell me about why you've done this. You biked from Toronto to Halifax, sometimes doing 60 kilometers a day.
No, miles.
Miles a day?
My biggest day was 65 miles.
Holy cow.
And anyway, when I discovered I was 60 years old, a couple of years ago, it was really, I'd been denying my age, so it came as quite a shock. And I realized finally that just because I'm getting older doesn't mean that I'm getting old. The interesting thing is that a lot of the younger people, my own children, for example, are inspired. And so when they get to be my age, it's not going to be a question of getting depressed because they're older. They're going to see that it's possible to have really rich years. Just because you're 63 you don't have to go and hide in a dark hole.
This trip may have been self-motivated, but Suzanne's trying to spread her message far and wide. Do you know what?
What?
This lady has bicycled all the way from Toronto.
You're kidding.
And she's 63 years old. What do you think of that?
That's not old.
What?
Good boy.
What do you think of that?
Good
Can we have a
fellow,
big
you
cheer
were.
for her?
Yeah! Thank you. Thank you. That's wonderful.
Isn't that great? Do you guys think you can bicycle all the way from Toronto to the Maritimes? Suzanne says the maritime hospitality she's encountered has been a highlight of her trip, and this afternoon was no exception. Suzanne, I want to introduce you to my friend Ina Fenton.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
From?
I'm from Toronto.
Toronto?
Yes.
Oh, well, we're delighted to have you.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
Suzanne has traveled all the way from Toronto to Nova Scotia by bicycle to prove that seniors can really do anything they set out to. Do you believe that message?
Oh, yes, sure they can.
Yeah.
I play bridge all the time.
Good for you.
And you win. Maritime hospitality. Ina Fenton makes the best brown bread in the world, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and now Ina's been around for a while. She's got, she's kind of like the queen of Bedford.
That's what we call her, I guess. But you know, she would only tell me that she's 29. And it's true. You are only as old as you feel.
Now, what about Suzanne, the lady who bicycled from Toronto? What is her? She's married, right? She's got a family. What does her husband think?
Her husband is in Toronto, and she wanted to do this on her own. He is her greatest ally, she says. He's very supportive. He's been a little nervous, and they've racked up a pretty high telephone bill, she says, because they talk every night, and, you know, she tells him about any obstacles she's encountered. Overall, it's gone really well. She hasn't had any serious injuries, but the other interesting thing she wanted to say was everybody should wear a bicycle helmet. We always emphasize the fact that parents should tell their kids to wear them, but parents and grandparents should wear them, too.
Fair enough.
All right.
Okay, terrific for her, and terrific for these people as well. We've got one anniversary to tell you about tonight. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence Amaro are celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary. Their 2 daughters and 2 grandchildren. Send them best wishes and hopes for many more. And if you're celebrating today, all the best to you from everyone here in the ATV Newsroom. Well, the consumer group that exposed the fat in Chinese food, Italian food, and movie theater popcorn is now turning up the heat on Mexican food.
I hate to hear it, but Eugenia Halsey has the results of the latest survey.
You might want to think twice before you eat the whole enchilada. A new study says most popular meals at Mexican restaurants contain more artery-clogging fat and salt than you should consume in an entire day.
To those of us who've enjoyed Mexican restaurant food, the results are pretty depressing.
The worst dish nutritionally, says the Center for Science in the Public Interest, is chili relleno with 96 grams of fat. The most fat you should consume in a day is 65 grams. The group calls it the Mexican equivalent of fettuccine Alfredo because it's like eating a whole stick of butter. Other nutrition nightmares? The beef chimichanga with beans, rice, sour cream, and guacamole has 86 grams of fat. Beef and cheese nachos with sour cream and guacamole contain 89 grams of fat. And taco salad with sour cream and guacamole has 71 grams of fat.
Oh, no.
One dish can have as much fat as a whole stick of butter.
Really? It's too late. I eat it often, quite often.
The heavy cheese, cheddar, anything. I mean, every ingredient that they use, deep-fried tortillas, is fattening. They don't have anything really that's healthy, in my opinion. But I still eat it.
The best dish nutritionally? The chicken fajitas and flour tortillas with 24 grams of fat. But that's only if you order them without the beans, rice, sour cream, and guacamole. The consumer group says the problem with Mexican food starts with the side dishes, which are typically loaded with fat. Then there are the main dishes, which often have a lot of meat and cheese. CSPI analyzed popular dishes from Mexican chains such as Chi-Chi's and El Torito, as well as smaller restaurants in Washington, Chicago, Dallas, and San Francisco. Even before the study was released, Mexican restaurants went on the offensive, saying they do offer healthy choices.
Mexican food really has a lot of basics in it that are low in fat and have nutritional value. Things like corn tortillas, beans, salsa made with fresh vegetables.
We have a tremendous amount of vegetables and salads that we offer our clientele, so it's their choice.
But CSPI wants Mexican restaurants to go further by, for example, switching to reduced fat cheese and sour cream, the way the Machismo Mouse restaurant chain on the West Coast has, and by making whole wheat tortillas, brown rice, and baked tortilla chips available. Then, it says, people can have their quesadilla and eat it too.
Yeah, that's right. I guess moderation is the key to everything, but it is kind of sad, isn't it?
I don't
it's
anticipate
so
ordering chicken fajita naked in the near future. You gotta like that stuff.
That would
just
be
once in a
wrong.
while.
You're right. There's lots more to come on Live at 5 tonight. Steve Weagle's standing by with the latest maritime weather picture.
And we also have these stories ahead.
I'm Yvonne Colbert on your side. Tonight, a wine tasting experience that turns sour. That story's coming up later on Live at 5.
I'm Colonel Smith aboard a fin-powered boat invented by St. George boat builder Harry Bryant. We'll try one out later on Live at 5.
And coming right up, the latest from the planet Jupiter. It's getting pretty wild out there. The story when we return.
enjoy any Dairy Queen treat, and you might roll away with your own set of wheels. Rollin'! Like a Peugeot Fraser Pro mountain bike or a pair of Bravo Blades rollerblades. Rollin'! You're really lucky the grand prize, a classic 1967 Mustang.
Rolling down the Dairy Queen. Heart beats for good treats. Queen treats you right.
At Zellers, since 1931, we've been looking at many ways to continue to lower costs. Pointing to even greater value, look for our lower low price signs throughout the store, with lower low prices on a huge range of merchandise, including top quality name brands. It's part of our ongoing commitment to help you get the most for your shopping dollar. With unbeatable weekly specials in our flyers and everyday low prices, you save even more on national brand names and get free Club Z rewards. At Zellers, because the lowest price is the law.
It's the 8th annual Brookfield Lotto Truck Draw with fabulous grand prizes like this Freightliner Classic XL or $80,000 in cash.
Doggone, that's a lot of truck.
Phone 1-800-565-4369 now for your chance to win, which includes these prizes: a Mustang convertible, a Ford Windstar wagon, or an F-150 4x4.
The draw takes place at the Don Henderson Memorial Sportsplex on July 30th. A sponsor of sports for all ages.
Cosmic flip of the coin, we got tails. And all of the impacts are going to take place on the backside of Jupiter, which is really too bad because an explosion of 1 billion megatons on Jupiter's surface would cause Jupiter to be visible in broad daylight for about a minute from here.
When David Levy spoke to Live at 5 last summer from where he used to study the sky as a student at Acadia University, he was guardedly optimistic about what we might see when the comet he helped discover started smashing into Jupiter. Well, the Levy-Schumacher 9 comet has exceeded expectations. The impacts are happening on the other side of the planet, so we can't see anything in broad daylight, but the effects on the atmosphere are visible to people on Earth with the aid of even small telescopes in the range of 4 to 5 inches in diameter, hoping that the weather can cooperate. We're going to bring you the latest on what's happening on Jupiter in just a moment, but first, let's check in with Steve Weigel on the Jupiter viewing conditions, and also to bring us up to date on the fire index. Steve?
Yeah, it doesn't look very good for viewing Jupiter tonight, Paul, because of all the cloud cover. We'll see a clearing trend before dawn, though. Tomorrow night looks good, though, with high pressure building in. The fire index, on the other hand, as Jonathan McKay mentioned earlier, we've still got a couple of high areas through Cape Breton and mainland Nova Scotia. Low to moderate, though, through most of the rest of the region. In fact, all of the rest of the region, because of the drizzle and showers we've received in the last 24 hours. But 2 more days of sunshine are ahead of us, and warm temperatures, and that means the fire index will increase, certainly in the next couple of days, and we'll see some extreme, I'm sure, by Thursday across the region. The latest jet stream is right over the Maritimes, just as it's been the last few days, but with all the cloud cover, we're seeing temperatures a little below normal, fighting to get to 20 degrees in some areas of the Maritimes. Back to the west, though, warm and humid through much of southern Ontario and through the interior of BC, where they're hitting temperatures up in the mid-30s. The big satellite photo up over North America shows a trough extending down the eastern, through Newfoundland and Labrador. It's all pushing off. We've got a secondary system, though, a frontal system, which will sweep through New Brunswick during the night tonight and set off a few showers and thunder showers, especially in northern New Brunswick. Another system back through Manitoba right now is giving some wet weather to that area. It's pushing into northwestern Ontario. Clear skies across Alberta and BC, in fact, right down the west coast. Most of the disturbances on the continent, in fact, are in the eastern areas of the continent. Here's the close-up of the Maritimes right now. We've got a lot of cloud, quite a bit of showers, a lot of drizzle. Winds are still from the east across the Maritimes. This is all pushing off, though, into Newfoundland and Labrador. Some clearing in behind that. In fact, back down to the northeast, they're seeing some clear skies right now. And that high-pressure system will push in for tomorrow across the region. You can see on the loop how system has really developed in the last 24 hours and begun to all push up into the northeast and clearing skies behind that, which will be our weather maker for tomorrow. So the forecast overnight, a drizzly night. You might want to stay inside and read a book. It's going to be a few showers and thunder showers in New Brunswick, cloudy skies with drizzle everywhere else. But before dawn, skies will clear, 14 to 15 degrees across the region, and the fog should dissipate before dawn. Then tomorrow, sunshine, great for the tourists and vacationers, warm temperatures, beautiful weather, 25 to 30 in New Brunswick, 24s for the islands tomorrow, 25 to 28 across mainland Nova Scotia, and warmer temperatures even still through the Annapolis Valley. Much the same for Thursday, late afternoon cloud and 27, another beautiful day. Then for Friday, we've got a few showers, mainly cloudy skies, and a few showers Saturday morning, and then clearing by the afternoon. We should see some sunshine across most of the southern areas of the Maritimes Saturday afternoon, and 26 degrees. That's your weather. I'll be back a little bit later with the wake-up weather. Now back to Paula and Nancy.
Thanks a lot, Steve. We're back on the Jupiter beat now. Astronomers are waiting for a Jovian triple whammy, you could say. 3 fragments of the Schumacher-Levy comet are expected to hit Jupiter in nearly the same spot, 10 hours apart, beginning tomorrow morning. A chunk of comet that hit today created a fireball that appeared 50 times brighter than the planet itself. And as Miles O'Brien tells us, yesterday's cosmic light show was equally dramatic.
After 3 days of pounding from a hard-charging comet, the undisputed heavyweight champion of planets appears bruised and battered. The worst punch so far lodged by the 7th Shoemaker-Levy 9 fragment to hit Jupiter. Astronomers say the scar left by fragment G is
the most visually prominent, discrete spot ever observed on Jupiter.
The massive bruise is larger than the diameter of Earth, an outer crescent on one side reminiscent of a good shiner. Astronomers have an explanation.
These large objects are coming in and splashing into the atmosphere, much like kids jumping off a high dive doing a cannonball. And because it's coming in at an angle, the splash goes off at an angle as well.
It is one large cannonball. New images captured by ground-based telescopes show the intense hotspots created after the comet pieces packed their wallop. Astronomers say G's blow unleashed 6 million megatons of energy, enough to cause a catastrophe here on Earth. But Jupiter is 12 times wider and 300 times the mass of our planet. So once the bruises fade, this gaseous behemoth should be given a clean bill of health. Astronomers are awestruck by the power and the size of the comet collisions.
Even after you look at the computer models and you sort of know rationally what to expect, I think there's just an element of astonishment in actually seeing it happen in real life.
Astonishment is right. It's like sci-fi.
It's more than sci-fi. It's a real thing. Fascinating stuff, really, and it's hard to fathom the explosions taking place. You know, each one to date, I think, has been many hundreds of times more than the entire nuclear stockpile on the planet Earth. So in the bad old days of the Cold War, when we were talking about blowing the Earth up several times over, that's exactly what's happening on the huge gaseous planet of Jupiter, and it is having some effect.
Tomorrow should be a fascinating day.
Indeed.
Truly. Well, straight ahead on Live at 5 tonight, Yvonne Colbert is on your side. A wine tasting class that turned into a bitter experience.
In the beginning, she returned our phone calls all the time. We had a lot of questions. We were phoning her. We probably talked to her 5 or 6 or 7 times.
It's no sour grapes coming up on Live at 5.
It's the 8th annual Brookfield Lotto Truck Draw with fabulous grand prizes like this Freightliner Classic XL or $80,000 in cash.
Doggone, that's a lot of truck.
Phone 1-800-565-4369 now for your chance to win, which includes these prizes: a Mustang convertible, a Ford Windstar wagon, or an F-150 4x4.
The draw takes place at the Don Henderson Memorial Sportsplex on July 30th. A sponsor of sports for all ages.
This is Hidden Valley. We don't have a supermarket around here, but we do have a pretty good produce section. While we don't have a lot of convenience stores, we manage to get fresh milk. So when it comes to making a dressing, well, we want it to taste as fresh as the things in our valley. There really is a place called Hidden Valley, and there really is a dressing that tastes this fresh. Hidden Valley, the original ranch.
Perhaps you think that Prince Edward Island is a sleepy place. Perhaps you think that nothing exciting ever happens here. Perhaps you think that our biggest thrill is a walk on the beach. Well, perhaps it's time to come back to Cavendish. With more than 30 major attractions for all ages, Cavendish is the most exciting vacation hotspot in Atlantic Canada. Bring your family to Cavendish this summer. It's where the heart of Prince Edward Island beats a little faster.
Are you on the right road to success? There's a big demand in the trucking industry right now for professional drivers who can safely travel throughout Canada and the U.S. Maybe it's time you considered a career in long-haul trucking. Take the first step now by getting the professional training you'll need at GW Driver Training School. Our certified instructors at GW Driver Training School can help put you on the road to success. Call GW Driver Training School now at 1-800-363-1194.
However, if we all turn to face in different directions, so no one can see what anyone else is doing, then hopefully everyone throws to somebody.
Many Maritimers have fond memories of scenes like these taken at the Buskers International Festival in Halifax last year. Some news on that festival. You may have heard that last week the festival lost a major sponsor. Well, some good news in that the Tourism Halifax and Nova Scotia Economic Renewal Agencies have come up with $35,000 for the festival. Buskers International starts on August the 4th in Halifax, and you'll probably see quite a bit of it here on Live at 5. Time to check in now with Bill Mackay, who's filling in for the vacationing Steve Murphy, working on the ATV Evening News at 6. What's coming up, Bill?
Thank you, Paul. Was it people power that helped scrap a PCB burner idea in the Maritimes? Well, the feds say public outcry was so strong they could not go ahead with a chemical incinerator. 2 sites were considered. Residents of both of those areas said no. The story tonight at 6. Now that the province has thrown cold water on the garbage incinerator idea in Metro Halifax, the Metro Authority is looking for ideas. It's back to the drawing board as far as garbage is concerned. More on that story coming up at 6. Plus, is your car slowly causing you to get sick? Some motorists in the Maritimes found out today whether their car is environmentally sound. The aim is to get motorists to clean up their act. The story at 6. And now here's Nancy.
Thank you, Bill. ATV on your side is coming up in just a moment, and we'll go for a spin in a new boat designed right here in the Maritimes. It uses pedal power.
Yeah.
Behind you, it's nice to follow along in another boat and see how it goes.
If you're waiting for a big deal and a whole lot more, the buck stops here at your Atlanta restaurants.
Welcome back to Live at 5. Time now for ATV on your side with Yvonne Colbert. And tonight we're talking about wine tasting.
Probably sounds good to some, Nancy, but it turned out to be a bitter experience for a couple of women.
Janice mentioned that she'd seen this ad, so I said, well, it sounds like a great idea. Maybe the two of them can take it together, you know, because they both make wine and they both drink wine together. So we just decided we'd both sign them up.
So they did. Heather Inkersell sent 2 checks totaling $150, and her neighbor Janice Kivamaki made a $100 deposit, both to pay for wine appreciation courses, a Christmas gift for their husbands. The money was sent to Glenda Allen in November, and all went well until...
It was 2 days before the course was going to begin, and we were called to tell us that we had missed the course, and that's when we found out that we got the wrong information.
They were offered the option of having their husbands attend a course in Kentville the same night they were notified, but weather and other factors prevented that. And at that point, neither woman wanted her money back.
We were initially told that the course would be in May, so we said, well, we wouldn't get our money refunded. We would just wait until May. And then when Heather called in April to find out what day it would be because of scheduling, she found out there was not going to be any course, and that's when the struggle began to get her money back.
Janice and Heather say what followed were countless unanswered calls and messages.
I was extremely frustrated. I couldn't believe that she never once returned our phone call. I think that's just an unprofessional way to run any type of business.
I called just before Father's Day, and I said, you know, it's Father's Day now. I'd like to get Brian something nice for Father's Day, and would you mind sending the money?
But the money never arrived, so they contacted On Your Side. I called Glenda Allen, who wasn't home, but did speak to her husband. He said the checks were in the mail, but their refunds had nothing to do with ATV's involvement. However, Janice and Heather think otherwise.
Well, I think you got a hold of them on the 28th, and he said that the checks had been sent out that week, and it was Wednesday when you got a hold of them. So when we got the checks were dated the 27th, but the envelopes were postmarked July 5th.
Okay, let me get that straight. You contacted the wine tasting people June 28th. The checks were dated the 27th, but it wasn't postmarked till July 5th, so you probably had something to do with this.
You can say that. I can't, because Glenda Allen's husband said it had nothing to do with us, and that the checks were already in the mail, unless the checks sat around
Possibly,
somewhere,
sure.
Whatever, who knows. But in any event, they have their checks, they've been cashed, and they're happy that they have the refunds, and so that is the end of that particular story.
Where is that wine bottle? Huh? Oh, you don't have it. This is so neat. Yvonne came back sporting a wine bottle with a very special label.
Yes, it says on your side with Yvonne Colbert. It's just that they like to make wine, and so because they feel that I help them get their money back, they decided to show their appreciation.
I thought that was really nice. Sorry, I thought I'd mention it. If you have a problem you think Yvonne may be able to help you with, here's how to contact her.
You can give us a call. The area code is 902. The number is 493-3404, and you can leave a brief message on the machine. Or you can write Post Office Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Postal code is B3J2Z4.
ATV's Yvonne Colbert is on your side, and where is that bottle of wine?
I'm not sure. I think someone has it back there.
Thanks, Yvonne.
You're welcome.
Here's Paul.
All right, and speaking of sides, the side that won the 1994 World Cup Championship returned home today to throngs of cheering Brazilians. Brazil, as the whole world knows, won the Cup on Sunday with a win over Italy in penalty kicks. For Brazil, it was a record-setting 4th World Cup win, and fans in the soccer-crazed country have still not stopped cheering. They had a half-day national holiday yesterday, but it's anticipated that the parties will go on for several days, who knows, maybe even weeks. Well, moving on to a sport of a different sort now, using the bone structure of fish and whales. A St. George, New Brunswick boat builder has designed and constructed a rather unique boat. It's 12 feet long and it's powered by foot pedals and a fin. ATV's Connell Smith standing by in St. John. Connell, does this thing really work or what?
Oh yeah, it works, Paul. It not only works, but it works extremely well. It's fast, it's quiet, and it's very easy and relaxing to operate.
When you get down here, it's a little slippery sometimes.
Harry Bryan keeps his prototype fin boat down on the Fundy shore below his home. The craft has a complicated-looking mechanism mounted at the rear.
You've got a lot of flexibility in the fin here, so when underwater it bends. But not only is the plastic of the fin bending, but this mechanism on the top bends and is spring-loaded.
Shall we see it work?
Sure.
With very little effort, Bryan moves the boat away. Its fin neatly flexes over a rope lying on the surface of the water. It has a slight wiggle when it moves, but tracks well. It's also surprisingly fast.
And once you've got it moving, I mean, just any movement of your feet at all keeps it going. Well, have you been in small boats?
Well, just a canoe.
Well, there you go. You're all set. Just keep
the builder agreed to let me try it out.
Go for it without any instruction at all. See what happens. Whether you'll get over that rope right away or not, I'm not sure.
It took a couple of tentative twitches on the pedals to get a feel for the fin motion, but it's really not that difficult. In a moment, you start to feel a little bit cocky.
Takes about 3 seconds to figure it out.
It took almost no time to circle the cove. To steer, you simply keep pushing one of the pedals. It's not at all tiring, and hands are completely free. Bryan can handle the 12-foot, 65-pound boat by himself. He and a partner build the fin boat and other craft by hand in a shop behind his home, using tools like this pedal-powered bandsaw.
The derailleur gear from a 10-speed bicycle. We actually have a 5-speed bandsaw here for.
Well, he's also got a pedal-powered drill press and a pedal-powered grinder. He built a sailboat a few years ago and sailed it to Australia with his family, and it was on that trip that he came up with the idea for this. He spent a lot of time studying and sketching various fish and whales and looking very closely at their bone structure, and he got back and started working on this idea. It took a few years.
Very clever. I take it, Connell, that he plans to build more of these and maybe even sell them?
That's the idea. He just started showing them this summer at different shows. It was at the Rosse Krat Festival on the weekend, but he hasn't yet got any confirmed sales on paper, but he says there's an awful lot of interest in They go for about $3,200, and I think he is going to sell a few of them.
Yeah, he enjoyed your boat ride for free today, I guess.
Oh, just loved it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, thanks, Connell.
Thank you.
Terrific idea by a Maritimer. We'll let you know how he does with his project. And now we've got another invention from afar for you. Nance?
Actually, it's a story that's sort of reminiscent of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. A car in Texas is not a tourist attraction yet, but maybe it should be. The automobile is designed to travel both on the road and in the sky. Tony Clark takes a look at the newest flying machine.
Did you ever get stuck in traffic and wish you could turn your car into a plane and just fly above it all? Texas engineer Ken Wernicke has.
When I had my children, I'd be going down the road and on a trip, you know, out on the highway, and I always tease them that pull back on the steering wheel and we're going to take off and fly on our trip, and I would always do that.
Now, Wernicke is trying to turn that dream into a reality. This is the prototype of his air car.
We start the air car just like you start your car, with a key in the ignition switch.
Wernicke is the designer of a tilt-rotor airplane and was the lead engineer at Bell Helicopter before taking early retirement.
He probably has a good chance of making this thing work. He's a good practical engineer.
The idea for a flying car has been around since the early days of airplanes. This 1917 issue of Scientific American features one man's attempt. It flew, but not very well. In the years that followed, there were a number of other tries.
One of them was actually going to be produced out in San Diego by the Convair Corporation, and they were well into projecting upward to $1,600 a year. But the market did not materialize after World War II.
The key to Wernicke's design is a single lightweight engine and wings compact enough to allow it to travel in a single lane of traffic. Wernicke has flown radio-controlled models of his air car and has conducted wind tunnel tests. His current full-size mock-up can operate like a car. The next step is to build a full-size prototype that will fly. The air car would fly up to 310 miles an hour and operate on normal automobile fuel. On the road, it would top out at 65 miles an hour.
You could land at an airport, drive over to the terminal, make a phone call and drive into town with it, drive back, take off and fly back to your starting point. And that's the real practical thing about this particular air car.
The air car is featured on the cover of Popular Mechanics magazine and is a finalist for Discover magazine's Technology Innovations Award. The challenge facing Ken Wernicke, though, is to perfect the air car so it is featured in parking lots.
I want one of those, Paul.
I think it's got to be the dream of any motorist who's been tied up in a traffic jam.
Stuck in traffic, you're right. Just pop it out and up you go.
And away you go, and just hope that there aren't a whole lot of other people with cars just like it.
That's right. Watch
Traffic
out.
control gets troublesome.
Back in just a moment with the wake-up weather, but first, is it another international scandal? The flag may not have been hung upside down, but listen to this.
The rise, the true and strong and free.
Oh, Canada. Oh, boy. When Live at 5 continues.
Far and wide, oh, Canada, we stand.
You can't always hear an exhaust problem.
Welcome back to Live at 5. Prime Minister Jean Chrétien has been sent a written apology after a fiasco in which an American singer butchered "O Canada" before a nationally televised Canadian Football League game in Las Vegas.
That's right. Dennis K.C. Parks was billed as an international singing star from Los Angeles. I don't know. I've never heard of him. But anyway, listen to what he did to our anthem. Check this out.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command, with
Okay, so I guess off-key kind of mixed up the words a little bit, and that's not even the tune.
Not even close.
Now, we were trying to get a hold of a girl from Cape Breton who's in Vegas now, and told us earlier this year she'd be attending all the games. She was on the phone throughout her hour tonight, so I'm sure she was at the game. But it'd be interesting to see if any of the Americans at the game noticed that there was anything wrong. Certainly people watching in Canada did, and the Prime Minister has received an apology. So,
did you recognize that tune as being anything,
not at all.
Any other song?
Here's a guy instantly recognizable with the weather facts, Steve Weagle. What do we look forward to in the morning, Steve?
Thanks, Paul. It looks like sunny skies for tomorrow across the Maritimes. We have a few showers tonight, though. Chance of a thunder shower across New Brunswick during the night, and that'll all clear out by morning, and then sunny skies for tomorrow. The close-up shows some trough just that will push through during the night tonight, and then sunny skies for tomorrow, guys.
All right, thanks, Steve. Here's what's coming up on prime time tonight. Starts at 6:30 with Full House, and then Murphy Brown at 7 o'clock. We've got Full House for you again at 7:30, and The Heat of the Night is on at 8, followed by Rescue 911 at 9. It's comedy at 10 and 10:30 with Roseanne and John Larroquette, and then it's NYPD Blue at 11.
And tomorrow on Live at 5, Maritimers remember the moment man first stepped on the moon. And 25 years later, is mankind still making great strides into space, or have we dropped the ball? We've got the story tomorrow, Live at 5.
And that is it for the Tuesday edition of Live at 5. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. Hope you can join us same place, same time. And the news continues on ATV. Here's Bill Mackay. Bill?
Thank you, Paul. Tonight, heated opposition. It's thumbs down for PCB burner.
I'm going to take the victory any way I can get it. I'm pleased. If it's not coming here, I'm pleased.
What next? A new search for a trash solution.
Well, the authorities are a joke in the public eye anyway. These people have done nothing. It's nothing short of sheer negligence on their part. They've been dumping garbage in Sackville for years.
And emission mission on the road to cutting cancer deaths.
It's a good opportunity to see what kind of impact you as an individual are having on the environment here in St. John.
Now, from the #1 news team in Atlantic Canada, the ATV Evening News.
Good evening, everyone. Steve is on vacation. A couple of environmental